So this is a lat stretch. Lat is like latissimus dorsi, and it's known to also be an internal rotator on the shoulder, which is interesting. But I was doing it there, and I was feeling like my the whole side of my body, like also my oblique. But here we go. So this is me just like testing my shoulder flexibility on both sides. Here it really doesn't look that bad. I think my left shoulder could probably open up a little bit more. And here, my left shoulder definitely does not want to internally rotate. So this is not exactly what this stretch is doing. We're not like really stretching to try to go deeper into any internal rotation, but it might actually have some benefit also. So we'll see. So this is it. So I'm gonna put my tricep way high up on the wall, like my elbow as high as I possibly can, and I'm standing on my foot that is away from the wall. So my hip towards the wall is sweeping back behind my other foot. Trying to also keep my trunk in contact with the wall as well. Really just kind of like loading that lat in a way. Now here, this is where I'm definitely just trying to stay breathing. Here's where it's interesting. I'm gonna rotate in towards the arm that is up, like turn my sternum in towards the wall, and what that's doing is also kind of like rotating my hips a little tiny bit, and it's enough that it's like really just creating more length in the lat. It's the opposite direction than you would think, but going in towards it is like it pulls your hips, which is the bottom. I guess it's the insertion of your latissimus dorsi, and it pulls it further away from your scapula. So same thing from the other side. Here I am. I'm rotating in towards the wall. The foot that's towards the wall, or the hip that's next to the wall, sweeps back behind the other foot. It was a really good stretch, at least for me, and I think I think a lot of people really could benefit from it. So this is like me overlaying and me doing it again. Unfortunately, I had to move the camera in between, but the more opaque one is the second one, the recent one. So the see-through one, that was before I did the stretch, and you can see how much less my left arm was internally rotating. I mean, it's definitely not perfectly lined up, but still, there's definitely a difference here. Also, I was like thinking about internally rotating my arm a little more this second time, but the other side I think looks a little better. Like, I think my head and my back look a little straighter while I'm in that extreme range of motion of both shoulders. So this is definitely some improvement. Pretty easy stretch. So I believe this is called a runner's stretch. From here, you're gonna lean back. Try to just kind of feel it first. Let's see how it goes. All right. Like a lot of times you'll be doing stuff with perfectly even feet, like so, or like with your feet out. Can I go out? Can I do this with my knee? Or with your feet maybe out, something like that. So here you're kind of fighting against both of them together. You're trying to stretch both of them together. So one way you can it's almost like putting more load into the stretch onto one side at a time, but also you can really get a different kind of feeling and understand maybe any kind of imbalance that you might have. You're gonna want to come into like a split squat position like so. I'm at like approximately like 90. We are going to kind of extend this. It also kind of depends on like your own flexibility level and like the length of your limbs, I suppose. So I'm going to put my foot a little more forward here. All right. Now, from here we can honestly do this, which isn't really the part that I was going for, but it's a good way to feel. Get this other side a little stretched out. Get some good breathing. I don't want to be like too rigid that I restrict breathing, and there's like a balance of like maintaining integrity, but also in a way keeping that lung volume as its own kind of structure and integrity. From the front leg, you're gonna come back and you're almost gonna be sitting back on your back knee. Let's try to straighten out the front leg. I'm gonna assist here a little bit myself. Perfect. I wanted to hold it though. I wanted to stay there. What? So from here, you want it to be straight. You want to, because you could feel this like on the back of your knee, your hamstring, but also up towards your hip in a way. So as I was saying though, this is a good way to really just put more force on the one side at a time to feel, and also you can feel the difference. This feels pretty good for me right now. I want to like go deeper, but I kind of also want to help it rotate myself. So either way, if you're gonna go deeper, you're gonna have like both your hands like so. Keep your low back extended in a way, but also you still want to be able to take full breaths. So you can lean forward more, or we can move back up to here. Now, chest maintains the connection to the thigh. I can balance on my hands if I need to. Stay centered, hips are forward. Lean back. Try to straighten this leg while keeping my chest down to my thigh. Some limited range of motion over here. Still trying to keep my chest to my thigh. It's getting a little harder. I want to stop doing one of them, but here we go. I'm feeling a pretty interesting stretch on the back of my knee. Not bad. I'm gonna contract it. I'm gonna push down with my heel to the ground, flex that hamstring a little bit, and relax. Relax. Another good breath. The exhale, maybe get a little lower. I'm pretty happy with this right now. That feels pretty good. But either way, you can almost like keep flossing and keep going back and resetting with your chest to your thigh. Both glutes contracted from here. Bring yourself back, put the stretch here, and then, obviously you want to switch out and do both sides. That was this knee from pushing on the hard floor. As you lean back, stay centered if you can. Yeah, that feels, and now I'm like in definitely a deeper range of motion than I just was. I'm going to try to contract again, pushing this heel down to the floor just a little bit, as much as I can do. And I'm going to stop there, get more comfortable, breathe.